Hey, it's Dr. Rowe here. I hope you're well. I wanted to talk about a subject it's actually in the category of what is classified as communication, but it's communication with authentic leadership. It's a big subject actually that's come up, I think more so in the last probably 5, 6, 7 years, is about leadership from an authentic perspective as opposed to, this dominating, ego-driven, get stuff done type of approach, which can often make people feel small, and it's really about imposing your will, isn't it? So communication is absolutely vital in this space. And more specifically, I want to address the subject of how to encourage people, because that question is often looked out for. And people ask the question, how do you encourage people, Dr. Rowe? I think the very first thing to be aware of is you've got to understand your own personal mindset. So in the communication system that I teach, one of the big areas is preparation. And preparation for any communication could be a conversation between you and I, one-to-one, or I'm encouraging you, or it could be I'm standing in front of a whole group of people in my company and I encourage the whole group to succeed or to move forward or to expand or grow or serve the customers better, whatever the subject is that we're dealing with. But the most important thing here is you've got to come from an authentic place and you have to be prepared for that. You can't just rock up. Yes, inspiration's great and communication is about being inspiring, but it's also about choosing the words appropriately and making sure what you say fits with the person that you're communicating with. Because you can say something to one person that really fires them up and that communication is really impactful. You can then go and do the same thing with another group of people or another individual and they go, yeah, okay, that would be nice. I just run an event this weekend and I've been communicating to people about investments. Some of the stuff I showed was quite powerful, and the response from some, it's a Zoom meeting, Zoom seminar. So some of the people were typing in, that's amazing, that's incredible. And other people went, oh, that's interesting. So even though you might think you're communicating to everybody and hitting everybody, you're not always going to impact everybody the same way. So I've got a few tools I'm going to share with you. And if I can pull these up for you, it's probably going to be easier. Right, let me just pull this up. Here we go. Right, so if I put this on the screen here, hopefully you can see that. And you'll see very quickly that I've got 4 things to consider when it comes to authentic leadership and encouraging people. All right, so this is about you encouraging. I actually wrote down here that, if you want to put a label of this, is how to encourage someone. So if you think of yourself as that someone, could be a member of your staff, could be your children, could be a business partner, could be a group of people. It starts now. Within the communication system that I have, there's 3 components. There's you, the person communicating. There's them, the person you're communicating with, and the environment within which you're communicating. And around the outside of that, there's these 38 components. I'm going to choose 4 that are really valuable to the situation. One is this, observation. You see, to encourage somebody, it can't just come from you just spouting out and communicating incredible, motivating, inspirational words of encouragement. I could say to you, look, man, you're going to be a brilliant, authentic leader. You're going to communicate effectively. You're going to encourage everybody. Don't worry about it. Don't get stressed. Just go and do it. And you go, right, thanks, Dr. Rowe. Yeah, but that's not quite what I wasn't feeling, because I haven't actually understood you. All I've done is I've delivered and I've spoken at you as opposed to trying to connect with you and create that rapport. Hopefully this makes sense. So the first thing is observation. And you watch their reaction to number 2, the questions that you ask. So what you do is you get into a flow. In your brain you're thinking you've got this, they've got this, but they may not believe that. So you're going to start to ask specific questions about their personal situation, maybe what their blocks are, which area that they feel, I've got out of focus there, which area they feel that they're let me just bring myself back into focus. Sometimes putting my glasses on, you might think, hold on a minute. You see, the strange thing, the camera needs an edge. My round head isn't enough of an edge, is it? That's crazy. So when you're asking that question, try and make it personal and dig the questions down to identify what it is about their block that makes them feel they can't do what they want to do, or that they don't have the confidence to do it. So ask the question specifically, what is it you're uncomfortable with? What is it you feel uneasy with? Why don't you believe that you can do this? Which area are you nervous about? If you looked ahead to imagine yourself doing this, what are you excited about? Which areas you feel uncomfortable with? And then that way you can leverage off the uncomfortable things to build the enthusiasm. So that way you're tailoring your encouragement specifically down to their needs. And if I'm working with one-to-ones, coaching them, or doing a corporate thing, it's the same thing. I can't just rock up and just land and go, great, this is Dr. Rowe, he's going to change your lives. I need to find out which area of life they want to change first. Otherwise, I might be trying to tweak something they don't want to have. I'm painting the walls green, but they're already happy with the wall color. And then you go to number 3. Now, this number 3, and here we go again with the focus. Apologize about this. I'm not sure what's going on here. Okay, there it goes. It's come back in again. Number 3 is, let's move that forward there, is the archetypes. Now, I talk about 4 archetypes in communication, and the archetypes allow you to shift between a warrior, a lover, and we go into the magician, and then we've got the sovereign. Now, I'm not going to go into detail now. Those of you that have maybe been through one of my programs, you can go back and look at the notes on that, and there'll be more information explaining how that works and how to use them. But essentially, you need to pivot, because as you're communicating with somebody, one of the things that can happen is they may say something, and if you've in the past reacted to them a certain way, like very aggressively or very direct, that might put them off. So you have to understand what their personality type is, but also how to react to them based on a certain archetype. So particularly the sovereign has a lot of wisdom in the way they communicate, and I think that is a very, very powerful way to get a message over. So ask questions, observe them, understand how they're reacting, and then you personally need to react to them. This is very strange, isn't it? I'm going to put my glasses back on. It seems to find a center of gravity around my glasses. And then you need to then communicate through the different archetypes. You might have to move up and down the archetypes depending on the situation, and the final message may come from the sovereign, for example, the sovereign state. And then, most importantly, be authentic. That means be real, use language, use communication, and use a style and an integrity that's you. So don't be too worried about trying to be someone else. Maybe the company has a very strong character in the company who communicates a certain way. That's great, but you're you. So be as authentic as you can. I think a challenge at the moment is people are trying to be somebody else. They see somebody on YouTube or they see somebody on Instagram. They go, I want to be like that. I think the best way to communicate this to that person with passion and enthusiasm and encourage them is you. Being the you that's you. If your way of delivering things is more factual, that's fine. If your way is really like this and you're high energy, that's fine as well. But they have to feel it, which means eye contact's really important as well. Making sure that they really get a sense that your heart is coming through your words. It can't be from the head, it's got to be from the heart. All right, good. Hopefully that was useful. And thanks for bearing with my fuzzy moments.